welcome to another episode of Leaders in the Spotlight with me, Taiji Charity.
This podcast is for C-suite leaders to discuss their experiences and provide insight, encouragement, and inspiration for seasoned and inspiring leaders, offering valuable solutions to today's challenges that will inspire, ignite, and invigorate new and seasoned leaders to walk in their God-given authority with compassion, kindness, and empathy. So sit back, relax, and be prepared to be inspired with today's episode
Of Leaders in the Spotlight.
Thank you.
Welcome to Leaders in the Spotlight, where we dive into the highs, lows, and unexpected plot twists of leadership, sharing tales from the top. Today, y'all, we got the dynamic duo, the founder of Get Sweat Studio, MELANIE Mora, and the co-partner, Gaby, Luco. Get Sweat is a space dedicated for physical and emotional transformation through movement and community. After climbing the corporate ladder as a business analyst, a company merger abruptly changed MELANIE's course, turning a long-held dream into reality. Instead of turning or returning to the corporate world, she built Get Sweat Studio, creating an environment where people push past their limits, both physically and mentally. As entrepreneurs, leaders, and passionate motivators, MELANIE and Gaby know that leadership isn't about titles, but it's about showing up, taking risks, and learning from every challenge. So we're going to dive into their journey. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you so much.
I'm
Thank
so
you for
happy to
having
have
us.
you.
Thank you.
This is my first time getting 2 for 1. The Big Bang. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm curious to know what brought the two of you together in business.
I'll start because
Okay,
I
go ahead.
was obviously MELANIE opened the business and the company, and I worked in the corporate world, always looking for something that I was passionate about, and I feel like I was never going to find it. But I found Get Sweat. I kind of investigated who the owner was, and I just went up to her. Like the worst that could have happened was she said no, right?
Are you serious?
So I just went up to her and asked her if she wanted to open another studio, and that was always her plan. So,
And at the time, Gaby was a regular rider.
Yes.
So I would see her and her husband come in all the time. Did great on the bikes. And at the time, we were looking for to expand our location. And we had been approached by different investors. But what better than someone who actually is in the studio, knows hand in hand about a little bit about the cycling business. And she just, I gave it to her. She just came up to me and asked me, and I'm like, okay, let's settle a meeting. Let's have a meeting, get together. And then from there, the next location was born.
That's amazing. So how many locations do you have?
We have 2. Currently, we have 2.
Okay, and where are they located?
San Fernando was the first one,
And
and then Valencia.
Is the second.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So how long has it been? How long has Get Sweat been around, and then when did the new Get Sweat start?
So we opened up doors July 7, 2017 in San Fernando. And then February 20th of 2020 was when we opened up the second location.
Wow.
Yes.
So what has that journey been like, first of all, as just an individual entrepreneur, following your dream, choosing not to go back to the corporate world? Because that's a big risk, right? It's a leap of faith, right?
Pretty
so
much.
what made you really take that leap of faith?
I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur or maybe invent something. I've always had ideas as a little girl about what I've always wanted to do. I was in the corporate world for over a decade, saving my 401k, just sitting in there, not really checking how much I had in my 401k. And then when that merger happened, my boss kind of just let me know, like, hey, you guys might be next on the chopping block. It was going to be the inevitable. It was going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
So I thought, like, what a better time to just start. Like, my boss stopped giving us work, so I had like months of like preparation, but I had all the resources. I had my laptop, I had a printer. I started making a business plan, not even realizing that I was doing a business plan, putting down numbers, what it would cost to buy the equipment, how much staff I would need. And then I reached out to a landlord like one day on my lunch break and was like, come in and meet me. I didn't even tell my husband that I was going before I knew I was signing papers. I signed papers, and I've always told him like multiple times, like, I'm starting a business, I'm doing this. So I think at that time I was like, I'm just not going to say anything this time.
I can show you better than I can tell you, right?
And then everything, it just kind of snowballs, and it was really quick, honestly, really quick. I didn't think that I would get a spot. We got the spot, and maybe like 6 months later, we opened doors.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Because you also had to buy the bikes and all the things in it and hire the instructors, unless you also
No, at the time, I mean, at the time, it was just like finding friends who were physical fitness, and I'm like, okay, I can train them. We'll all take the certification together. I got certified, my staff got certified, and we just kind of all learned together.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful. Well, I want to thank you because I've had the privilege of coming to Get Sweat several years ago when we partnered with Warner Brothers Studios, the Black Employee Network. One of your instructors, who's a dear friend of mine, Kimberly Sparks, and also the producer of Leadership Reality and now Leaders in the Spotlight, they hosted a fundraiser at Get Sweat Studios. So I'm so grateful that I get to tell you thank you for opening up your space for us to come in and do it. Girl, it was fun, but I was like, I am worn, like I'm tired. I was worn out because Kimberly she just loses her mind on those things.
Yeah.
I'm like, the energy was off the chain in that place. But that's great. So did you start like when the studio immediately opened? Like when did you join the studio?
I joined, I want to say about 2 years after they opened.
Okay.
And I went for about a year before I even
you approached
walked up to her for the...
So did you resign from your job as a
I
banker?
did. I did, and we opened doors. It was a weird time because I resigned 2 weeks before the pandemic.
Y'all make some big bold
We
moves.
do.
I love it.
That's another one. I didn't tell my husband either.
Are you serious?
I was like, you're perfect. Come
Yes,
on board.
exactly.
My kind of girl, right?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
And obviously it was harder than what we expected. We expected it to be hard work and a lot of hands-on, but we didn't obviously foresee that pandemic.
Oh, right.
So that became a lot harder than...
How did you navigate that?
It was hard. We had to rent bikes. We got brand new bikes for our Valencia studio, so super expensive, right? But then we had to rent them out. So we had to send them to people's houses. We were delivering them to people's houses. For that too, we're very lucky that we have supportive husbands and friends. So
The supportive husbands who you didn't tell.
we didn't tell them. But
Nice
they're
job,
supportive.
hubbies.
Yes. So they were helping us delivering bikes, carrying them up and downstairs, and
Wow.
yes, we had an online program. So that took directing also. We were recording them.
But you all pivoted, like you found a way to keep business and revenue coming. Because I would have never thought to just start renting the bikes out.
Yeah, honestly, we had no choice. We opened doors, launched our grand opening, and not even a month later, we got a mandate letter saying that gyms were no longer an essential. And we were like, what are we going to do? We had 2 locations. Our landlords weren't going to tell us that we can stop paying rent. We had these bikes, we had all these equipment, we had staff on board. We opened up doors, so we had to pivot. There was no other way. We launched an on-demand portal, again, like producing our instructors in-house, taking videos, and then you can pretty much buy like an online class and then take it at home, and then at the same time rent our bikes, and then do it from home. It was work.
I mean, honestly, that's fascinating to come into a new partnership right before COVID and still be on the other side, get to the other side of that, and y'all still smiling like y'all just the best of business partners. That's amazing because most people would freak out.
Yeah,
that is hard to find. So you're really blessed in having this type of partnership where you can really see how to navigate during the challenges. Because I don't know if it's going to get any. It's possible that it get crazier than what we experienced in COVID. I know. We hope not. We hope not. But at least you know how to get through it. So how do you find? You said you started out with just friends and fitness, and look, if come teach the class. Do you still have those same people as instructors, or did you have to revamp how you found your instructors and brought on new instructors?
We're consistently bringing on new people, anybody that's good, but we do have our core staff who started with us since day one. Miss Kimberly is one of
course, she's just that
our
girl.
OGs who has been the staff from the front desk to instructors. We have probably about 40% who has been with us since 2017.
Oh, that's amazing.
Sometimes venture off. They have their own aspirations and go do things, but we always tell them, like, this is your home. You're always welcome to come back. Do what you got to do, and you have a space with us.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So do you all split like who manages what location, or you just do it together still?
We just do it together.
Yeah, we just kind of do it together. We're kind of honestly like learning how to be like partners at the same time. You're constantly learning how to be a boss, how to work inside in-house with them, work behind the scenes, and then at the flip side work together.
Yeah. So marketing, do either of you have a marketing background? Like how do
She's
you
a
really get
marketing
them?
genius.
Oh, she's a marketing genius.
yes.
Okay.
I don't have a marketing background, but I've had to learn. So
Okay.
yeah, I think our generation, I mean, since we opened doors, that was when like Instagram became like a very big platform.
Yeah.
I remember in my business plan, it was like, okay, we're going to mail out postcards and we're going to go like hand in hand and mail out flyers. And then by the time we launched, it was like, none of that's really needed. You just post something online and your marketing kind of does itself. And that's basically it. But learning, I mean, I have a son who's 19 years old, so he puts me on like TikTok and like all the latest trends.
Of course.
Yeah, and all that marketing stuff. We try to do fun videos and incorporate like all of our instructors and whatnot, just to make it look like a place and kind of showcase of what we're doing in the studio.
Yeah, very engaging.
Yeah.
So how many instructors do you have?
We have
right now.
14 instructors right now. No, I'm sorry, 18 instructors.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a nice
18
That's a
instructors,
nice
yeah.
bit.
And they all go, and they both teach at both locations.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's good.
Right.
That's really good.
Right.
What are some of the wins of running a studio?
Wins. I mean, it's
A
fun.
health fitness
It's so much
studio.
fun.
Yeah.
Running a fitness studio, I mean, we both came from corporate lives. So running a fitness studio is so much more light.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that serious. We dress in yoga clothes
Right.
every day, yoga pants every day.
Well, I love to
It's
show
the
up and work in
best.
yoga clothes.
Yes, it's the best. And then our job is just doing the hard part and making sure that what you guys see looks easy.
Yeah.
You know? So that's just, you know, navigating through all of the background stuff.
Yeah. So does each
but-
of the instructors bring like their own style and music, or do you have like a guideline or something that they have to follow? How does that work?
I let our instructors be themselves, play their own music, do what they have to do. Everybody, I will say, has their own unique characteristics about them, but they all kind of fit within like the Get Sweat molds of what a Get Sweat instructor is. It's very hype, very loud. If you ever, it's hard. Like we're known for being a tough class.
Okay.
We're not gonna call a certain rider out on a bike for like sitting down or taking a break. We don't allow that.
I feel safe there.
But the room's actually dark, so
Okay.
even if you are struggling, no one's gonna see you, and honestly, nobody will care because they're busy trying to keep alive in the room themselves.
Okay.
But yeah, we let our instructors just kind of be themselves and shine their light however they want to do. As long as they're doing their job and doing a hard workout, then I'm okay with it.
I love that. Is it like a hot studio? Do you have it heated?
Yes.
In the
So
studio? What's the
it
temperature?
is heated. So before the pandemic, we used to have it at 95 as our max.
I'm sweating
and we were
already.
all okay with that.
Yeah.
Everybody was fine with that. After the pandemic, people started coming back thinking they were at the same level they were before.
Oh, yeah.
And we just couldn't have that. People were getting sick. We had people passing out. We just couldn't. So now our highest is 85.
Okay.
Yes. And we also have fans in there that suck up the humidity.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, 85.
85.
And we
That's
still
still
get
hot.
we still get people
Yeah.
that get sick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you handle that when someone passes out? Like, what do you do?
You know what? A lot of our
I
staff
pass out with them. I'm just,
Right.
just fall out.
a lot of our staff works in hospitals.
Oh, that's good.
One of our instructors is a doctor.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of us, I mean, we just take care of the people that are there as however we need to, right?
Yeah.
There's people that pass out, seizures. Thankfully, we haven't had anything too bad.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
We regulate the
wood.
room for like safety measures, so.
Wow.
And we always let people know too, like listen to your body. If you feel like you can't take the temperature,
Yeah.
please step outside.
Yeah, step out the room and you
don't
can go
try to
whenever.
push past too much past, because you know
Yeah.
But our instructors usually like, come on, no pain, no gain. Like,
Yeah,
you gotta
that's
do this. Like, that's what I'm used to. Like, come on, girl.
Yes, yes.
So I want to
Yeah.
know, though, a Get Sweat studio, I mean, is it the name of your business? I want to know, how did you come up with the name, first of all, and why biking? Like, it's just biking too, right?
It's
just
all, yeah.
cycling.
It's just cycling.
Just like, why? Why cycling? And how did you come up with the name?
So cycling, because at the time when I was working, I used to work in a city, and we would take cycling classes during our lunch. And then in the town that I lived in Sylmar, it's kind of like a smaller town, not very much to do there. If you live there, you know, you kind of have to travel a little bit further to go to a good restaurant, or if you want to go to a good chain store or whatnot. So at the time when I knew I was going to get laid off, I was, you know, taking a lot of cycling to just, you know, relieve all the pressure of work and whatnot. And I thought, like, why do I have to drive all the way 45 minutes to take a good cycling class? They had some like at our local chains and our gyms, but they're not the same as like a boutique fitness type cycling class that I like to take. And I would pay to take it and drive far to take it. So I thought, why not open one at home, like close by? So the first location was like within 5 minutes of where I lived, and there's not much to do there, but the people there, they have money, they just don't know what to do with their money. Not knowing if it was going to be good. I mean, I had a lot of friends grew up there, and they were just kind of like, do it, like, you do it, and let's just see. And it honestly, it bloomed. Like, they usually say your first year was like your hardest year. My first year was probably like my best year.
Really?
Yeah, because it was something new in that city, and people were so excited to have a boutique fitness. Like there was not many there. And then from the time that we opened, they're kind of just popping up all around us.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's how businesses get started, especially for me, because I work in nonprofit. You see a need and you want to fulfill the need instead of complaining about it.
Right.
Wait, what can I do about it? How can I change this to, you know, meet the need? And for you, it was no cycling places nearby.
Yeah.
How can I create the space that I want? But the title, Get Sweat. How did you come up with that?
Honestly, that was not my first, second, third, fourth, or fifth choice. It kind of seemed like everything was taken. I definitely wanted to incorporate the word sweat in it, and then just kind of snowballing and looking on like what was already taken. Eventually, if I wanted to lock down the name, what other places had the same name or was similar. Like I kind of didn't know if I wanted to put cycling in the word, because I think later on down the line, maybe we'll open up something else that will be a heated type of another fitness class. I don't know, maybe like a heated boxing or a different type of one. So I wanted to refrain from putting spinning or cycling in it, but I wanted to put the word sweat in it or something with heat. And Get Sweat was just probably maybe 15 on my list.
But it makes sense.
But it kind of stuck. Like it was catchy. Like we kept saying it,
Yeah.
and then like my husband and my son would be like, "Yeah, Get Sweat. Like we're gonna go to Get Sweat." And I think now
Sounds
it's
like,
just
you know,
kind of
one
like
of those,
made.
like, you know, boss lady moves.
Yeah. It just kind of just stuck, and it's catchy, and everybody just kind of it just caught on to everybody.
Yeah.
So natural now.
Yeah, it's like natural to say.
Just,
Get
so
Sweat.
were you a cycler before Get Sweat came to the area? Was it
I
something?
was. I did Soul Cycle a lot. I did
Okay.
a bunch of other studios. The difference with Get Sweat, and everyone can see it, is that, like she said, she allowed everybody to bring their own style. And most other fitness studios have like a regulatory list of what they want you to do, you know. So every class feels the same, and they're great.
Yeah.
But I think what our riders love is that everyone brings their own style.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's
That's
awesome.
good.
It's amazing. Yes.
That's how many bikes do you have?
Now we're at 28 bikes. We started off with 35. There was one point in time we were only at 8 because we had to practice social distancing.
Oh yeah.
Right now, I think 28 at both locations is the magic number.
working.
Yeah,
Okay.
it seems to be working. We have our backup bikes in the event that we need something breaks or we need a backup bike.
Okay.
So we're at 28 each location.
Well, that's
and then there's the
good
instructor
number.
bike.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday. Like, is it every day, 7 days a week?
Every day.
Every day of the year.
Yes. Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
And people are really taking this fitness seriously.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I need to be one of those
Come
people
back.
taking
Whenever you want to come in.
taking
Yeah.
fitness seriously.
Yes.
That's right, because I talked about it in your bio, pushing past those limits physically and mentally. Can we talk about that a little bit? Because I'm sure starting a business, you have to push back some of the fear. Did you experience that? Did you have to silence the uncertainties, or were you just, I'm doing this? Because it sounded like you ladies sounded like, I'm just doing this.
Yeah,
like it didn't.
yeah,
There are two parts to our brains.
Yeah.
Right? Because very much so. We were just talking on the way here of if we saw each other as bosses when we were little, you know, when we were younger. And both of our answers were yes.
Like 1,000%.
Really?
Yes.
1,000%
Wouldn't
yes.
want to be doing anything else.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we definitely believe in ourselves and each other, because any opportunity we have to think about opening another business, we convince each other we can do it.
Yeah.
That's good. How many more on the horizon have you?
We want to just keep growing and see where it takes us. I don't know. I
Okay.
think until I'm old to,
she's like, till I'm
too
old.
yeah, too old to physically get in there and do the work.
Yeah.
But I don't have like a limit where I want to stop. I just want to keep on going.
Just keep. I love that.
yeah, keep on going, keep
love
on growing,
that.
and take the team, as long as they let me, take them all with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of being kids and knowing at an early age that leadership was something that you knew you had the skill set to do, do you have an example of when you were a kid where you first stepped into like a leadership role, or what felt like a leadership role?
Definitely. We were just talking about that too, because I feel like I was always the leader of the pack with my cousins. And they'll tell you that to this day. I was a little too bossy. But growing up, obviously, as an adult, then you start to realize being a leader is not about being bossy. It's a lot of listening and a lot of compromising. And there are so many personalities. We also have admins that work the front desk. So just working through so many personalities at one time it was a learning experience.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yes.
I'm sure.
And it's every day, you know?
Yeah.
It's every day.
Yeah. What about you? Just
For me, I would say my first leadership role had to have been 1999. I
she
was
got the year and everything.
class president. I remember because I was
Yes.
8th grade and I was school president of the school.
okay.
So I think very early on I took on that leadership role. And then ironically enough, I got voted bossiest in the yearbook.
Wow.
So
that
I
is
think
too
like
funny.
early on, I don't know if I had
That
like a
is
bossy.
too funny.
I don't know if I had a bossy personality, but it was funny because when I launched Get Sweat, a lot of like my 8th grade buddies were like kind of like sending me a screenshot, like you really did it, like you are like this is what you were meant to be.
Right. Walking in purpose.
Yeah.
Walking in purpose. But what in terms of like your team, your admin staff? I mean, you have more than one at each studio, or is it just one per studio? How many people do you have working like your front desk area?
At a time. So mornings aren't so busy. So we have one admin working each studio each morning.
Okay.
And then evenings get a little bit more busy, so we have 2.
Okay.
Yes.
And
That
how
was
did
very
you even find them? Because I know building a team can have its own, like you said, challenges. What is that like for you? Like, how do you navigate your team? Like, what are some of the wins for a good team? How do you invest in your team? Do you all do things just as a team? Like, I'm just trying to get a feel for the culture of the administrative part of your business.
We've been lucky.
Yeah,
I
we've
feel.
been lucky. I feel like you got to be empathetic with your staff. You got to listen to their needs, really hear them out. I make it a point to go in every time that I'm working a shift, like, are you good? Are you still happy here? What do you need? Same goes with my instructors. I talk to them all the time. We're on like one big group chat, and sometimes it's business, sometimes it's crazy. But when I do see them in-house, how are you? You know, like, I really want to get to know them. I think now it's more like a family. Everybody calls that studio, everybody who works there calls that studio like home. And we want to keep that feeling, keep that environment.
Yeah.
Same with our admin staff. Like I said before, sometimes they go and they venture off. Like they might have thought that they wanted to get another job and not necessarily do the gym. But 9 times out of 10, they'll come right back and say like, hey, can I pick up a few hours? Like, I really love it there. and they all know that they're always welcome to come in. We have a good team, a good staff. They're all friends with each other. They go out and they hang out together. We're like, as long as you guys are getting business done, you're fine. I think we communicate a lot. I think communication is a big key. Listening to them. And then just kind of motivating them, not necessarily bossing them around, but showing them getting in there and doing the work with them and kind of just leading by example and just wanting them to all want more for themselves.
That's good.
Yeah.
So
and we definitely get together as far as
we do.
We have crazy fun parties.
Yes. I know my team and we went axe throwing at the end of the year, and that was the first time. It was so much fun.
We should do that.
They were getting the bulls. I think they saw me as the bullseye when they were throwing their axe. I'm not really sure. But we had fun.
That
sounds like fun.
It was really, really fun.
That sounds cool.
So I want to know leaders you admire. Who are some of the leaders that you admire?
I'll let you answer this one.
Leaders I admire, honestly, probably my core family, my mom, my dad, my brother, all kind of instilled hard work, good work ethic into me. My dad started from the bottom, worked at Anheuser-Busch as a bottler.
Really?
Yes, for years, and then just kind of became his own manager after years. Worked weekends, never complained about it, was very frugal with his money, saved his money, but I mean, I felt like I grew up pretty fortunate. Like my dad was a very hard worker. My brother, it's almost unfair how smart he is. He's honestly,
it's almost unfair.
He's like he's a genius. He was born one. He's always been like valedictorian, like one of the smartest guys that I know. But he's continuing to want to learn. Like he finds joy in learning new things. I feel like I appreciate that sense of him. Like I see that characteristic in him. And before I always used to think like he was kind of like a nerd or he was always like learning things. But now I see why.
The value in that. What does he do?
He is a CFO of a big restaurant chain. Yeah, so he kind of, same with him. He started off as a host and worked his way up to be a CFO, and now is kind of like partner with this big restaurant chain.
See, hard work pays off.
Yes, and that same with him. He's always working. Like he'll miss family parties to get work. He's a total businessman.
Well, that's a good thing when you all have parties, end of the year parties. You're having a brother who's the CFO of a restaurant. Free food,
We're gonna
everybody,
go there.
right? Brother, donate this food.
You hear that, brother? Free food.
Yes.
I love it. What about you, Gaby?
We know a lot of good people. I would say the same thing. My parents, they've just always been so hardworking, and I almost tell them it's like a funny thing. Like you should have given me land instead of this work ethic, because it's almost unhealthy a lot of times. Like she said, her brother's working holidays and family parties, and so are we. I don't think there's a day that her and I don't talk. I mean, I remember there was a Thanksgiving, you left your family party to get over there, and I had been there that morning working, that shift. It's just hard work. It's my parents.
So y'all even open on the holidays?
Yeah.
She said, yeah.
We got a big turkey burn on Thanksgiving, which is we have events on the holidays.
I mean, that's good. That's what people need it the most, honestly, right?
These writers are hardcore. Like, God forbid we close the day. Like, no, they need their cycling class.
They need it.
Wow. Y'all got the cycling addicts. I love it.
We do.
I absolutely love it. Well, I just want to know, in terms of, we talked about what's next. We definitely want to create more studios and things like that. I want to know, how do you use your work ethics, your skills, your talents to invest in younger people who have an interest in starting a business? Like, what advice would you give them, or do you mentor anyone? Like, what does that look like for you? Because I'm sure people are curious to know, if they had a dream of starting a studio. I want to learn from people who's already done
Right.
it,
Yeah,
or doing
no,
it
for
and doing
sure.
it well.
Definitely.
Yeah, we have even like a lot of our staff, like one of our instructors kind of just branched off and opened up his own cycling studio in a different city. Yeah,
wow.
so it's kind of like, you're kind of bonds because you want to keep them with you, but then you're
Right.
like, you're doing a good thing when you see them kind of blossoming and doing their own thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost the best compliment, right?
Yeah.
And a few have. I mean, Harris
Yeah,
opened
a
a
few have.
studio. They're leaders.
Yeah.
They're all leaders, and we encourage them. But like she said, we don't want them to leave. They're like our kids.
Yeah, like they're leaving the nest.
But they're
Right,
they're
right.
growing, so we encourage it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But if anybody comes, I mean, I feel like I get asked that question a lot. Like, would you do it again? Do you regret doing it? Definitely would do it again. Do it 100 times. You're consistently learning. I feel like if I had to give a young entrepreneur advice, it'd be, it's going to be a lot of work. The work's not going to stop. You're going to
Right.
always be tired, but you got to just keep going. You got to be
Yeah.
resilient.
Yeah.
And when somebody throws you a curveball, you got to pivot and you got to find the way. You just got to go. That's maybe like one negative thing is that you always have that feeling, like that weight carried on your shoulders, like, okay, like somebody's not going to come in and fix this. That's all on me. I have to take care of this. So
Because
when you
nobody's
come from
going
the
to treat your
company-
baby the way you treat your
No,
baby.
and nobody will honestly
And people
care.
love it.
Yeah.
You know, they will love it,
Yeah.
and they will have good intentions, but nobody's going to treat your baby the way you treat your
Absolutely.
baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, turning those obstacles into opportunities.
Yeah.
And you find that in business, no matter what, there's always going to be some type of challenge and possible obstacles.
Yes.
You know, that sometimes you just have no control over,
Yeah.
but you're looking for the opportunity to make something out of that.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
This is so good. I'm loving it. You know, I don't cycle, but y'all got me wanting to come back. I've tried Kimberly's class. Kimberly is,
Intense.
she is
beast.
good.
Yeah,
Intense.
she's a
She
beast.
is good.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I just come for the motivation? Because you're always motivated. Like, I love that she has so many intentional, thoughtful things to
yes.
share
Yeah.
to push you past
Yes.
all of the negative noise that's in your head. But my legs were worn out, my butt was hurting, all the things was hurting.
It's a therapy class.
Especially if you're teaching like a 5 a.m. like Kimberly,
Oh,
like
yes.
you got to be very motivating. Like these
Present.
people probably rolled out of bed, but the time you get into that studio, you're alive. Like
You're
you're
ready.
awake. You're alive. Yeah, you're
And
ready
it
to go.
energizes you for the rest of the day. That's the thing I
100%.
can say. Like,
100%.
when you do it, it's a struggle to get there, but when you do it, you feel so refreshed and so
Yeah.
energized. For the okay, you see, I'm talking myself through this. I'm
Yes, girl, we're gonna see you there
Yeah, we're
tomorrow.
gonna see you there on the bike tomorrow
trying to talk
morning.
myself through this.
It's only 50 minutes of your day.
Oh,
you know?
God, I know, right?
Yeah.
Right? But this has been really, really great. Thank you all
Thank you.
so much
you.
for coming and sharing just a little bit of your journey and your successes and your challenges along the way. I wish you the best on launching More Get Sweat. Y'all heard it, right?
Yes.
Get Sweat. So do you have a website? Like, how do people find you? Let me ask that real
Yeah.
quickly.
Well, we just launched our app, so we have an
Ah,
app.
an app. All right, talk about it.
We have an app. It's kind of like a booking platform where writers can see how many classes they've taken. They can book. We have spot scheduling, so it's basically like the same concept as that you go into a movie theater and you get to pick your seat. Here, you get to pick your bike and see how far
nice.
or how close you want to be to the instructor, or how far you want to be from maybe like the exit door and whatnot. But we have a website, and they can book through there or they can book through the app. We're kind of trying to get all of our clientele to go through the app. It's user friendly. It's just like 2 clicks. You buy, you go, you can purchase, your water or your towel before you even get there.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's kind of been like our newest project at the time, but the app
I
would
love it. I love it. One last question. Have you ever considered renting it out for movie sets? Have anybody ever reached out and say, can we book this for movies?
Yes.
Really? Do you do it?
We've had,
Definitely.
I think, 1 or 2 people come and film.
Yeah.
Okay.
People use it for a photo shoot.
Okay.
We host a lot of private events. Like tomorrow morning, we have a private birthday event at one of our locations. So they can rent it out and have during closing hours, and then have the studio exclusive to just them. And they can ride and party with our instructor. They can basically pick whatever instructor they want to lead the class.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Good.
And
Well,
we definitely get more inquiries. However, we're open every day.
Yeah.
So people can't come and use it for 48 hours.
Yes.
But Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard all of the ways that you can utilize Get Sweat Studios. Y'all make partnership look really, really good.
Thank you.
I love
you.
it. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Well, that is our show for today. I know you heard something that will help you on your leadership journey. But what I need you to do is those 3 magical words: like, share, subscribe. Until next time, stay focused, stay present, be ready to pivot, and do the hard work. All right? Bye now. Have a great day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for today. I hope you were inspired and you gained some valuable nuggets that will help you to become a better leader and to walk in your God-given authority. Bye until next time.